Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 5th grade concept of classifying two-dimensional shapes. This is standard 5.5a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 35 off the 2019 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we have a mobile, which is something that we're supposedly hanging off the ceiling or something like this. And it's supposed to show a relationship here. So we've got at the very top, we've got some quadrilaterals. So quadrilaterals are polygons that are four-sided. So we've got two different things inside there. First, obviously we need a four-sided shape. But we've also included this term polygon just because that would be what would be that next level up above the quadrilaterals. Polygons are closed and straight. So no curves like circles or cones. So within that section, within that quadrilaterals, we've got two things. One is going to be a trapezoid, and then the second is going to be our mystery box, which in itself actually has three boxes or three rectangles coming from underneath it. So first, let's take a look at our trapezoid. Let's draw it first. So sometimes we can draw a trapezoid like this. Sometimes we could do it with just one curved line. It's not as common, but it's also a trapezoid. So here's the thing that makes a trapezoid a trapezoid. It is a quadrilateral. Obviously, it's coming down from this box right here. But it is a quadrilateral that only has one set of parallel lines, or one pair of parallel lines. The other two are not parallel because they are curved, they are slanted. They're slanted right here, not curved, and they would eventually intersect. So how could we best describe a rectangle, a rhombus, and a square? Well, let's see if we can just kind of describe our rectangle, our rhombus, and our square. So a rectangle, let's see, here's an example of a rectangle. We can make it tall and skinny if we really want to. Here's what you can notice about a rectangle. The trapezoid has got one pair of parallel lines. Rectangles have two. So they've got two sets of parallel lines. All right, so I'll just put that right here. Two sets of, and I'm just going to use, this is actually the symbol for parallel. Looks like two L's. Two sets of parallel lines, and here's the cool thing about rectangles is they all have square corners. And then it's got four right angles or square corners, whatever you want to call them. 90 degrees, there's many different ways to call them. So a rhombus also, sometimes we'll call it a diamond, even though that's not a real shape. Kind of looks like this. So a rhombus also has two sets of parallel lines. So two sets of parallel lines. It doesn't have any right angles or square corners, but it's got four equal sides. So that's one thing that makes a rhombus is that all four sides are equal. And then if you put those two together, did you know that you can put those into a square? And this really shows this really well. If you mix a rectangle and a rhombus, you're going to get a square, which we know what a square looks like this. So you've got the two sets of parallel lines. And just draw that like this, parallel lines. You have four right angles, right? They're square corners. And you've got four equal sides. So a square is a rectangle, and a square is a rhombus. So what's the common thing that we're noticing? Well, you're noticing all three of these have two sets of parallel lines. So what do we call this thing that's got two sets of parallel lines? Well, it's not a hexagon. That's a six-sided shape. It's not a polygon. Polygon is what we said was up here, straight, no curves. Not a triangle, that's three-sided shape. It is a parallelogram C.